Hello everyone! If you have a game or an app developed for the Meta Quest and you'd like to make a version of it for Pico, or you're just starting with game development and one of your platforms on focus is Pico, then this video is exactly for you. If you're not a VR developer but you would like to learn some differences for the development on Pico and on Quest, then you're welcomed as well. I have been developing for Oculus Meta for the last 2 years, and I got the Pico 4 a month ago. I faced some challenges and I would like to share with you some tips so that you don't have to waste your time figuring out everything on your own. There are videos out there with tutorials about how to set up everything for Pico development in Unity, for example. So with this video my goal is to focus on things that you might not find in the general how to start with Pico tutorial. So let's start with the basics. If you're going to develop for Pico 4, do not forget that Pico also have a Pico Neo 3, which is a different headset, but it is using the exact same chipset, so the same processor, with just a little bit lowering on your graphical settings, on your graphics quality for Pico 4, you'll be able to support one more device. So, for example, in Unity you can use the Pico SDK to get the controller type and adjust the graphics slightly for the two different devices. So let's say that the Pico Neo 3 is using and can handle the exact graphics quality for like a Quest 2, and it's really similar. So if you're planning to support Pico 4, then you can also support the Pico Neo 3. If you have a game already developed for Quest, do not forget that the Pico 4 offers better performance than the Quest 2. So they both use the same XR2 chip, but the Pico 4 has a fan. You can actually see that there are fan intakes on the bottom and on the top, and this allows the processor to be and also the GPU to be overclocked a little so that they run on higher frequencies, and it gives you more headroom. So the Pico 4 also has 8 GB of RAM and the Quest 2 has 6, for example. With all those resources, you'll be able to render your game at higher resolutions and provide better visuals for Pico 4 users. So do not just port your game from one platform to another, but actually make use of the extra performance the Pico 4 offers, and every single Pico user will be glad that you took the time to optimize your game. And let's talk a little bit about the controllers. There are some differences, and the Pico 4 controllers are slightly, so this one right here, are slightly tilted more forward when you have them in your hand. So even if you start your game app on the Pico device and your hands look perfectly fine, or the controllers that you use in your game, there might be some differences when you grab an item or when you interact with something. So make sure you have checked all interactions in your game, because the slight forward tilt might not make a difference in most tasks, but it might change a lot some specific interactions. So Pico as well as Quest are both based on Android, so aside from using a different SDK in cross-platform engines like Unity, the building process should be the same. Well, not exactly. I saw in many forums people complaining about building their game, and when they run it on Pico, that they get a black screen with only music sound playing. So this error occurs only in the release build. If you get the error, your game should work perfectly fine on a development build. So, what is the difference? The standard minification process for Android application is R8, It is the new and improved solution compared to ProGuard. But for some reason, the current software version on Pico has a problem running apps minified with R8. So if you get a black screen and only the loading animation is playing, and you can also hear some voice or sound from your game, or even if you don't hear that, check the settings you're using to minify your build. It took me 3 days to figure out what was causing the issue, because I was just running the game, getting no errors at all, and I was just seeing a black screen. So, and also by seeing this question asked in some forums, I hope I have saved you some time. If you're wondering what the best quality settings for Pico are, they are pretty much the same as the Quest, but they are listed in the developer docs on the Pico website, and I encourage you to take a look. Pico also offers SDK integrations for Unity and Unreal, and there is also OpenXR plugin for both platforms. But if you're using one of those engines, then keep in mind that the OpenXR plugins for both are still in beta experimental trial phase. So I recommend you to use the SDK integration for both platforms, unless you really need to use the OpenXR. The SDK integration also gives you many tools that you can use, such as foveated rendering, displayed refresh rate settings, focus awareness, and others. Unless you're really relying on OpenXR, give the integration SDK a chance. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If this video was helpful for you, please leave a like, and if you'd like to see some more content about VR development, subscribe. And write a comment about what you'd like to see learn next. Also, if you have some more specific questions about Pico or Quest VR development, do not hesitate to ask. If you'd like to check out my game on Quest or Rift, there are links in the description. And if you'd like to test my game currently in beta on Pico 4 or Pico Neo 3, then send me a message in Discord or an email. And if you'd like to follow the development of my game, you can join the Discord. Bye!